Hello, everybody. It's nice to be back this week doing another question and answer. I took last week off because school was starting and it was crazy. So I know if you're from this area, your kids are in school now too, if they're old enough. But anyways, okay. So question I want to answer today is, what is a reasonable postpartum timeline as far as getting your body back? Because there's a lot of information out there. Social media was not really like a huge thing where you posted pictures of yourself every day or your kids every day when I was having my kids. So it's totally different in just a few short years. And I feel like that's led to a lot of confusion. And then I talk to a lot of moms that worry they're not on track, or they are seeing other moms just appear to magically look like they've never had a baby. And that can be really frustrating and concerning and discouraging. So I want to help alleviate anyone's concern with some information, fact-based, experience-based, etc., on, really what is an accurate postpartum timeline. Okay, so here's the thing. It's hard to say that answer as a whole for everybody, because we all have different starting points, where your body was at before you got pregnant, what you did during pregnancy, the type of pregnancy you have. So I think that plays into a lot of how you see some people responding at different timelines. You are going to have your own timeline. Now, I said I was going to answer what is a timeline, and the way I'm going to approach that is, what is the normal timeline for activity? Because like I just said, we all have different starting points, and you can't compare your starting point with anybody else's because it's unique to you. You can't do anything about where you started 9 months ago or however long ago it was. But what you can do is move forward from where you are now. So in general, the first 2 weeks postpartum, those are made for rest. Don't start stressing about getting your body back. I know your body has just gone through a lot and there's a lot of softness everywhere. And it can be really upsetting. You want to wear those compression garments, high waist, everything. I did the same thing. That's totally okay. Just let your body rest. Most people seem to know not to exercise again before 6 weeks, before your 6-week checkup, maybe even longer if you had a C-section or something like that, complication with delivery. Excuse me. Of course. So before your 6-week checkup, we just talked about the first 2 weeks. There's weeks 2 through 6 that there is a little bit of a gray area. This is an area where when I was postpartum and wasn't receiving, any follow-up care, from any therapist, and there wasn't a fitness specialist that I was turning to in my back pocket. Now you have me as your fitness specialist in your back pocket, and this is what I wish I would have done. I did maybe to some degree, but here's what I would do in that weeks 2 to 6. It's not exercise. You're not going out doing reps of stuff. But pay attention to, start building that self-awareness. Pay attention to how your body is moving. Reconnect with your core. There are little exercises that you can do in that 2 to 6 week period that do help reconnect your core, to activate those muscles that have been stretched. And in fact, most of your core healing, any separation that you had, is done in those first 6 weeks. That's when the vast majority is done. So you can be doing exercises in that window that help promote that healing, that connective, that closing. So that is really exciting. That's not something a lot of people know, but it's not necessarily exercise that gets your heart rate up and is exertion. That 2 to 6 week period, you don't want to be doing stuff that is harder than your daily life. But that being said, you can still practice those activities you're doing, like picking a baby, holding baby, feeding baby, getting in and out of the car, getting up and down out of bed or the couch, the chair, whatever. You can be doing those with good biomechanics. That's one of my favorite areas of study, actually, is biomechanics, how our bodies move, and making sure we're doing it correctly. Because you don't want to be doing it wrong. That's what leads to pain and discomfort and eventually chronic use, overuse, injury type stuff. Okay, I got way off my notes on that. So the end of the game is 6 week is kind of when you start to go back to exercise. And even then, you can't, this is something that surprised me. You can't just go back to what you were doing right up until you had a baby. Your body is not quite ready for that. It's gone through a trauma. Delivery, no matter how it happened, is like a trauma. And in many ways, you have injury to soft tissue that you're working to recover. And so there's a smart way to go about it. And again, that depends on your starting point. That's why working with a certified fitness specialist who does pre and postnatal exercise programming is really going to be your best bet, because they're going to be able to assess where you're starting. With my clients, we have an assessment that I run through, see which muscles are working, which ones are not, and just build up from there, because slow and steady, I know that it's not what anybody wants to hear. Slow and steady is going to be your best bet as far as achieving your full recovery and even getting your body back. But for most people, they kind of are willing to settle for their body back. And it depends on where you were starting from. But I know for me, my body got stronger and leaner actually after I became a mom, which I hadn't really ever aimed for, but was awesome. So aim for better. Oh, I know, my dog is growling at me. He's like, you're just talking. As far as total end to when can you expect to be back? Well, that depends too on, I feel like I'm saying it depends a lot. I don't want that to be like discouraging, but I want it to help point you in the direction of choosing what's right for you. Honestly, it took your body 9 months to grow a baby. That's a long time. And most people will get their full body back the way they want it. Maybe not the way they want it necessarily. That's probably not the right way to say it. But allow a year, honestly, for things to either return to normal or even progress. Yes, some people appear to do it magically overnight. And I will admit, I recovered very quickly. But as a person who recovered very quickly and did not look like I had been pregnant for very long, don't hate me. Because just because the outside looks one way doesn't mean the inside is working correctly. I had problems with urine leakage really bad for a really, really, really long time after my third. And that's actually what got me into becoming a specialist in pre and postnatal, is because I had made so many mistakes. I thought just because the outside fit back into my pants that the inside was working. I thought all the incontinence was normal, to be expected. I had had 3 kids, etc. Like, no, those were muscle. That's a problem. Common is not normal necessarily, okay? And things like the incontinence and, back pain, you may have those, absolutely. Lots of people do, but that doesn't mean it's normal. And had I known then what I do now, where if I'd gone slow and steady, reconnected with my core, allowed myself to start back at the basics, the building blocks of fitness, which is what I coach my clients through, I think I would have had a more full recovery a lot faster, saved myself a lot, years, I'm telling you, embarrassment, worry, like, oh my gosh, or I can't go to that type of class. Yes, I know it happens. So hopefully that speaks to you. Again, working with, a specialist, even if it's just, for a couple consultations, it doesn't have to necessarily be one-on-one. That's what I am available to offer, is like a one-on-one session, like one time, and then monthly follow-ups. Or if you want a little bit more of a regular type program where we meet regularly, or if you just want to work solely online, I now have, this is part of one of my big reveals. This is not the whole big reveal. This is a little reveal for the week. I have online coaching available very, very soon. At least in like a structured format. So it's always been available. I don't do a lot of it typically, but I would like to, because questions are coming from all over. So yes, timeline, first 2 weeks, total rest. 2 to 6, get smart. Get to know your body, learn your body, know the tricks. That stuff I can teach in one session. And then just move forward at a slow and steady pace, because most people, what they do is they just keep moving, don't see progress. And then one time, when they're consistent, one time, bam, then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Look how far I've come. You don't necessarily see a lot of change until like, bam, all of a sudden you do. And the sad part is a lot of people will go and go and go, not see change, and then give up. Don't be that person, because it can take time. So thank you guys for tuning in. Keep your questions coming, and keep your eyes posted on the page for another big announcement coming in the next couple days. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for watching. Again, feel free to like my page, comment. I have an email if you want more information. There's a little button that says sign up. There's also, I think, a link to some more information if you just want to peruse some things. So feel free to scroll down and see other lives, question and answers if you missed them. But thanks for watching, and have a great day.